then I'll ask you lastly about the fight of the night, obviously, with Khamzat Chimaev and Gilbert. I mean, gosh, lived up to everything and more. I guess just talk about that. I mean, the energy was electric. It was insane.
Yeah, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. It's one of the coolest fights I've ever been to. Like you said, the place was so loud and people were going crazy. When's the last time you saw a guy come out of nowhere? Nobody knows who he is, comes out of nowhere, then fights a couple fights and then fights the #2 ranked guy in the world. You know, when you get into the top 5 in the UFC, no joke, man. And especially in that division. I mean, that division is straight killers. You know, tonight was a big test for him, and he passed. I mean, think about this too. He's never had that big moment where coming into this week, how many fights this guy got in the UFC? He's got a couple fights, and he just beat the #2 welterweight in the world in the UFC with a couple of fights in the UFC. If you don't think he's the real deal, you're out of your mind.
King is here.